Why? Why? Well, this video answers that. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything It Ends With Us saga. As I shared with you a little bit ago, in an explosive ruling, Judge Lyman has decided to totally toss out Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against Blake Lively and her husband. The judge did rule that Baldoni Wayfarer has until June 23rd to file a second amended complaint. However, 7 of their initial 9 claims are done, dismissed with prejudice. The judge will not let Baldoni Wayfarer mention those claims in a second amended complaint. The only 2 that he is allowing are claims of tortious interference with contract and breach of implied covenant. That's it. Extortion, defamation, all of that is done. And this is definitely an eye-opening experience for me as somebody who is not a lawyer. It just goes to show you how much power a judge has. Because this hasn't even gotten to a jury yet. I would have assumed incorrectly that it's up to a jury of their peers to determine everything. But no, the judge already said, this is what happened, this is what didn't happen, based on the law and based on my ruling. And we have yet to hear from Team Baldoni, but this one and her husband are already gloating, releasing the following statement, quote, "Today's opinion is a total victory and a complete vindication for Blake Lively, along with those that Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties dragged into their retaliatory lawsuit, including Ryan Reynolds, Leslie Sloan, and the New York Times. As we have said from day one, this $400 million lawsuit was a sham, and the court saw right through it." Wow. This might be a multi-part series, but I think it's really relevant, clearly, and important to hear the judge in his own words. Starting with, the judge wrote, "The Wayfarer party's civil extortion claim is based on allegations, 1, that Lively refused to return to production unless the Wayfarer parties agreed to her return to production demands. 2, that Lively threatened to abandon her contractual obligation to promote the film or approve marketing materials unless the Wayfarer parties agreed to co-fund a screening of her version of the film, eventually release that version, and grant her a producer credit and support in seeking the PGA designation. 3, that Lively threatened to boycott the premiere unless Baldoni was excluded. 4, and that Lively and Reynolds threatened to attack Wayfarer in the press if it did not take the blame for problems during filming. The last set of allegations, that Lively and Reynolds threatened to attack Wayfarer in the press if it did not take the blame for problems during filming, the last set of allegations, the judge writes, is not actionable because Wayfarer did not acquiesce in the threat and did not accept blame for problems during filming. Wayfarer did not lose anything, and Lively and Reynolds did not gain anything from the threat. The remaining allegations must be dismissed because the allegations regarding Lively's wrongful threats are conclusory and fail to support the threats were wrongful." What? How are they not wrongful? What? In addition, the Wayfarer parties have failed to plead that several key instances of alleged extortion caused actual monetary loss. The Wayfarer parties focus significantly on the demand by Reynolds and Lively that the Wayfarer parties issue a self-destructive statement taking blame for Lively's press woes, or else the gloves would come off and they would attack Wayfarer in the press. However, the judge writes, the Wayfarer parties refused to issue any such statement. Accordingly, there was no reliance on the threat. The Wayfarer parties did not give up anything to Reynolds or Lively, and plaintiff did not sustain damages cognizable in a cause of action for duress. Wow. The Wayfarer parties allege that in response to threats that Lively would stop acting in the film or breach her contractual obligations to promote it, they were forced to agree to the return to production demands. Give Lively greater control over the script, give her a producer credit, and support her in seeking the PGA mark, and accept marginalization from the premiere. However, Wayfarer does not plead sufficient facts to support an interference that these threats were legally wrongful. What? The judge literally has said that it was absolutely okay for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to make threats against Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath and his studio. Lively did not threaten to physically harm the Wayfarer parties or their property, nor did she threaten a false lawsuit. The Wayfarer parties' claims do not turn on what Lively threatened to do, but what she threatened not to do. The Wayfarer parties allege that Lively threatened to refuse to promote the film or approve any related marketing materials, and threatened to abandon her contractual obligations to promote the film or approve marketing materials. However, the Wayfarer parties do not allege facts showing that Lively had an obligation to promote the film or to approve marketing material. What? Oh my God, they are screwed. 99% of the time, an actor's contract does state it is their job to promote a movie. But, as we know, what do we know? She didn't sign her contract. She didn't sign her contract. Clearly, I'm not going to be able to finish this all in one video, so come back for more as we work our way through the judge's ruling. Until the next part, let us discuss all that we have learned in this video right now in the comments section. I'll see you again shortly.